Hi student, the next topic is under eye is ocular injuries. Okay, ocular injuries, it can be happening because of the mechanical contusion and wound, perforating injuries, chemical injuries, thermal injuries, electrical injuries, radiational injuries. Okay, that because of this the person can affect their vision. Okay, in this chemically there is a superficial injury will be there, thermal there is a extraocular foreign body can be in extraocular foreign body and corneal abrasion. These are the ocular injuries can be classified. Okay, now we'll see what is a contusional injuries. Okay, the contusional injuries, the orbit. Okay, the orbit there may be occur fractures of the orbital walls. Okay, there may be a fractures of the orbital walls, commonest being the blowout fracture of the orbital floor. Orbital hemorrhage may produce sudden proptosis, sometimes may be endophthalmos. Orbital emphysema may occur following ethmoidal sinus rupture. In this, what will be happen? There may be a ocular fracture can be happen because of the orbital injury in that orbital walls, and being a common blowout fracture of the orbital floor, orbital hemorrhage also produce. Okay, that we call as a continuational injuries. Next, continuational injuries, you can see the images here. The lids, subcongenital hemorrhage, laceration and avulsion of the lids, and traumatic ptosis may follow damage to the levator muscles. Okay, because of traumatosis it will be happen, it will cause damage to the muscles, levator muscles. Next, what is a continuational injuries? Lacrimal apertures, laceration of lacrimal passage, especially the canaliculi, conjunctiva, subconjunctival hemorrhage, chemosis and tears of conjunctiva, corneal abrasion. These are the continuational injuries. There may be laceration will be formed, conjunctival, it will affect the conjunctiva also, and the corneal abrasion also will be happening. Then sclera tears, globe rupture, anterior chamber, and that anterior chamber changes, hypemia, collapse of the anterior chamber, iris, pupil and ciliary body, traumatic meiosis, traumatic mydriasis, rupture of the pupillary margin, iridodialysis. Okay, these are the continuational injuries. Continuational injuries, lens lesions also will be happening because of the concussion cataract, subluxation of the lens, dislocation of the lens, vitreous body, hemophthalmos. Okay, next it is a choroidal retinal hemorrhage, rupture of choroidal comedoid retina, retinal detachment, optic nerve injuries and traumatic glaucoma or traumatic hypotonia. Okay, next one is a perforatic injuries. There will be hole, perfoma, that is a tearing, it we call as a perforating injuries. Reable sign of perforating injury, visible wound will be there, prolapse of inner structures, hole in the iris, intraocular foreign body provoked by the X-ray examination. Okay, next will be the antibiotic. How we can do the treatment management of a global perforation? We can give the antibiotic, tetanus antioxin should be administered, antibacterial drop we can give, binocular bandages also we can give. Okay, and this others, that is a history, ocular examination, X-ray examination, radiographic localization by Combrec Blatin. X-ray are used to determine the position of non-metal glass, wood, foreign bodies. Ultrasonography and CT scan localization is useful in diagnosis of IOF. Okay, intraocular foreign body. What can be a treatment? The way of the intraocular foreign body removing depend on the localization. We have to see where is that injuries happen. Anterior is situated in the anterior segment, direct and transscalar. Okay, this is a treatment. What can be complications? The traumatic cataract, introduction of infection, traumatic iridocyclitis, purulent uveitis, endophthalmitis, panophthalmitis. Okay, next what is a complication in this reaction of foreign body? Sympathetic ophthalmitis. Okay, next one is a ophthalmitis. There is a symptoms: ocular pain, redness, lacrimation, marked loss of vision, lid edema, marked circumcellary injection, corneal edema will be there, exudate in pupillary area, pupil shows yellow reflex due to the purulent exudation in vitreous. These are the symptoms for endophthalmitis. Okay, treatment. In this, what can be treatment? Treatment will be include broad spectrum antibiotic, typically in form of some conjunctival retrobulbar and the intravitreous injection drop. And systemically, we can give the pediatric corticosteroid. Enucleation may be performed in case the patient does not respond to the urgent intensive therapy, including vitrectomy. We can do the vitrectomy for the patient. Next one is a panophthalmitis. Symptoms: severe ocular pain, headache, complete loss of vision, profuse watering will be there, purulent discharge, marked redness and exophthalmos. Associated constitutional symptoms are malaise and fever. Okay, that what can be symptoms also: edema will be there and the hyperemia of the lids, exophthalmos, ocular movement are limited and painful, chemosis of the conjunctiva, mixed injection, cornea is cloudy and edematous, anterior chamber is full of pus, vision is completely lost, perception of light, okay, and that absent, globe perforation may occur at limbus. Next, panophthalmitis treatment: intensive antibacterial therapy, anti-inflammatory drugs and analgesic to relieve pain, evisceration operation. Next one is a systematic ophthalmitis, that is sympathetic. In this, it may develop about 4 to 12 weeks after the either any injury or really intraocular surgery on the eye. It is thought to be that injury to one eye result in programming of the body to produce ocular disease, autoimmune in nature and predominantly T cells, lymphocyte reaction in the injured and the sympathizing other ear. Sign is typically for idiopathitis or neuroretinitis. Okay. Next one is a treatment is a steroid therapy, systemic periorbital injection, frequent installation of topical drugs, pediatrics, topically antibiotic in severe cases, immunosuppressive therapy also we can give. Okay, next one is a chemical injuries. Chemical injuries is a grading of chemical burn. There is a grading of chemical burn, hyperemia of the conjunctiva and erosion and edema of corneal epithelium, ischemia of the conjunctiva, it becomes grayish chemotic, areas of clouding may appear in cornea. Okay, as a result of infiltration may be loss of corneal sensitivity in the stage, total corneal epithelial loss, stromal clouding, deep conjunctival necrosis and corneal necrosis. Cornea is a china in color. Okay, next one is a chemical injuries. Immediate treatment: throw wash with the available clean water. The greater the time between the injury and decontamination, the worse the prognosis. Mechanical remover of contaminate from the conjunctival sac and corneal surface, antibacterial drop and ointment in case of burn. IV grade tetanus antitoxin should be administered. Treatment is at irrigation of fluorosilin solution or normal saline, antibacterial drops, ointment, pediatrics in form of drops, analgesic for pain, antihistamine drugs and vitamin C. Next one is a radiation burn. Radiation burn, infrared burns, lid and edema, arrhythmia, cataract, retinal edema, vitreous retinal hemorrhage, ionizing radiations, conjunctival hyperemia, circumcorneal injection, radiation keratosis, cataract, interretinal hemorrhage, papillary edema and central retinal vein thrombosis, ultraviolet radiations. Okay, symptoms: severe burning pain, photophobia, lacrimation, phlebitis, swelling of palpebral conjunctival hyperemia. Okay, next one is that photoophthalmia. Photoophthalmia treatment is a analgesic, topical and oral, antibiotic drops and ointment, cold compress, prophylaxis. Ultraviolet burns may be prevented by use of ordinary crown glass or these are the treatment for the injuries of the eye. Okay, their injuries may be a physical injuries, chemical injuries, radiation injuries. Okay, and that in this we discuss about this injuries of eye. Okay. Next, we'll see about that keratitis. Okay, keratitis is a cornea. Okay, is a cornea is the eye optical window that makes it possible of human to see. Through that we can able to see. The cornea tissue consists of 5 layers. The surface of the form is stratified non-keratinized squamous and epithelium. The cornea tissue consists of 5 layers. A thin basement member anchor the basal cell of the stratified squamous epithelium to Bowman layer. The stroma is highly braided trophic tissues. Okay. Next one is a disseminate membrane is a relatively strong membrane, and the corneal endothelium is responsible for the transparency of the cornea. The corneal endothelium does not regenerate. Next one is the infectious keratitis is a purulent ulcer of the cornea. Is a protective mechanism of the cornea, reflexive eye closing, flushing effect of tear fluid. Its hydrophobic epithelium form of diffusion barrier. Epithelium can regenerate quickly and completely. It can be regenerated quickly and completely. There is where varices is a bacteria, antiamoeba, and the fungi. Once these pathogens have invaded the braditrophic tissue through a superficial corneal lesion, a typical chain of events will ensue corneal lesions. Pathogenesis invade and colonize the corneal stroma. Antibodies will infiltrate the site. As a result, the cornea will opacity and the point of entry will open further and revealing the cornea infiltrate. Okay, pathogenesis in this, there is a irritation of anterior chamber and hypophyne. Okay, typically pus will be accumulate on the floor of anterior chamber. The pathogens will infest the entire cornea. As a result, the cornea stroma will melt down to disseminate membrane, which is relatively strong. This is known as disseminatocele. Only disseminate membrane is still intact. Next one is as a disorder progress, perforation of disseminated membrane occurs and the aqueous humor will be seen to leak. This is referred to as a perforated corneal ulcer. Okay, next one is a prolapse of the iris. The iris will prolapse into the newly created defect, closing the corneal perforation posteriorly. Okay, the rapidly progressing from the infectious corneal ulcer, usually bacterial, is referred to as serpiginous corneal ulcer. Okay. Next general note of that infection symptoms will be patient report of foreign body sensation, moderate pain in the eye, photophobia, impaired vision, tearing and purulent discharge. What can be a treatment? In this treatment will be eye drop 0 to 5% levonomycin, gentamicin, erythromycin, neomycin, kiprolate, Kiromid, oxycin, tobromycin, 0. Ointment, tobromycin, midratic 1%, atropine 0.1%, 0.25%, sculopamine 0.5%, homotrophine 0.1%, flataphyline 0.1%, adrenal 0.5%, midracil 1%, tropico and 1 colima and 1 2.5 everything. The treatment also non-steroidal drug diclofenac, naclofenac, diclofenac, actovegin jelly 20%, silcoceril jelly. Subconjunctival application of antibiotics may require to increase the effectiveness of treatment. Next, what can be a surgical management? Surgical management is a keratoplasty is indicated to treat the disseminatocele or perforated corneal ulcer. Broad areas of superficial necrosis may require a congenital flap to accelerate healing. Stenosis or blocking of the lower lacrimal system. that may impair healing of the ulcer should be surgically corrected. Viral keratitis. Viral keratitis is frequently caused by the herpes simplex virus, varicella zoster virus, adenovirus. Herpes simplex keratitis epidemiology is the herpes simplex keratitis among the more common cause of corneal ulcer. The herpes simplex keratitis is usually painful and associated with photophobia, lacrimation, and swelling the eyelids. Okay, vision may be impaired depending on the location of the finding. What is the diagnostic evaluation? The following form of herpes simplex keratitis are differentiated according to the specific layer of cornea in which the lesion is located. Next is dendritic keratitis. Okay, this is characterized by branching epithelium lesion, necrotic and vesicular swollen epithelial cells. This finding will be visible with the unaided eye. After application of fluorescence dye are the characteristic of dendritic keratitis. Corneal sensitivity is usually reduced. Okay, next one is a stromal keratitis. Slit lamp examination will reveal central disciform corneal infiltrate with or without whitish stromal infiltrate, depending on the frequency of recurrence. Superficial or deep vascularization may be present. Treatment of the viral static agent can be caused by treatments as the acyclovir. We can use it. Corticosteroid are contraindicated. Next one is endogenous keratitis. Tubercular keratitis, tubercle allergy keratitis, hematogenic tuberculosis keratitis, diffuse deep corneal and sclerosing keratitis, and parenchymatous syphilitic keratitis. Tubercular allergy keratitis, small cyclodense millet, and they are smaller than millet in size or more often numerous. Solitary cyclodense look like a grayish yellow nodes up to 3 to 4 mm in diameter. Cyclodense are always situated in the superficial layer of the cornea, but they also may involve deep stromal layers. Right after cycloden appears, superficial vessels reaching out to the focus in the form of bundles are seen on the cornea. Tuberculo, and that after the tuberculo there is a hematogenic tuberculosis keratitis, that is a deep diffuse keratitis. The disease is lacrimation, photophobia, pericorneal injection. Okay. Next one is a deep corneal infiltrate. The focus is situated in the deepest corneal layer. Vascularization is insignificant. Unfavorable occurs. Infiltrate get absorbed more seldom. Necrosis with ulceration appears. Okay. Next one is a sclerosing keratitis. What can be a treatment? Treatment will be anti-tuberculosis agent. Streptomycin, thiolin, methazide, tubazide, salazide medicine used for the antibiotic and mydriatic. Keratoplastic agent, a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug also. If epithelium defect is absent, application glucocorticoid is a possible. Inhibitors of proteolytic enzyme also we can use for treating the keratitis. Okay. Next one is a parenchymatous syphilitic keratitis. That in this what will be happen? If the clinical features will be the disease is characterized by the cyclic course, bilateral lesion, involvement of the uveal tract, absence of recurrence, and relatively favorable outcome. And the course of parenchymatous syphilitic keratitis has 3 stages: infiltration, vascularization, absorption. Okay, these are the three stage for the parenchymatous syphilitic keratitis. At the first stage, the patient has slightly photophobia and lacrimation also. Insignificant pericorneal injection is present on the fundus. There is a diffuse grey and white infiltration at the limb in the corneal stroma. The infiltrate consists of separate dots, line and stroke. Okay. Parenchymatous syphilitic keratitis in the 5th week of vessel begin the appear of the cornea and vascularization is deep. The limb get edematous, vessel injection is mixed. Vascularization period lasts from 6 to 8 weeks. The vessel run through the whole cornea, making it look like a non-fresh meat. Absorption period lasts from 1 to 2 years. Okay, irritation of the eye become less. Infiltrate get absorbed starting from the limb and ending with the center of the cornea. Okay, the cornea become transparent again. The vessels get empty and are seen in the form of thin thread. Vascular penis. Treatment: specific therapy with penicillin drugs we can give for the usual keratitis. Okay, thanks class for listening.